I've always wondered how my life could be if I had been born in another place in the world. The way I would understand love, where I would be living, whether I would be proud of being who I am. I think that there is only one way to figure it out. I'm going to travel around the world to talk to a woman in each country I visit, so they can tell me about their daily life.
My idea of love involves like a lot of trust. I think you need to trust the person completely. And also these days, I think you need to be at kind of the same point in your life. It's not like it used to be where kind of you get married really young, you don't really have so many plans to travel or goals of your career, or these days you really need to be compatible, you need to think about a lot of things. So it's more difficult. For me, it's not a huge deal. For my parents, it's a huge deal, so they would want me to get married. But for me, it's just a piece of paper. These days, I think divorce and just people being less committed despite getting married. I just think it's, and even in Australia, if you live with someone for 1 year, you're considered married. Like, you'd have to divide your assets like equally. It's the same thing, really.
What happens if with this guy I'm 3 years, nothing happens? Then someone else, 3 years, I'll be like, I don't know, 29. And it doesn't go as well, more years, and I'll be spending my entire life just testing people. It's a way of living, but it's not that I'm in the rush of getting married, but I just want to be with someone that knows what he wants to do with his life. I do want to be married because I also think that marriage is not only about love. Marriage is more about the way you live with someone. You need to know if you're going to get well with this person for the next 40 years, 50 years of your life. Because we don't love each other the way we used to love us at 20s. So it's more about, do you get well? Are you organized? Can you work together? So I think marriage is more about, it's a partnership, but based on love. So I do want to get married because I want someone to be experimenting and living what I'm living. I love to travel. I can be sitting in the same place for 3 months. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone that enjoys as much as I do, just to enjoy the world, see the world and go out.
Well, right now I'm married, recently married. Been married maybe 3 months now. But love has always been really important to me, and finding it and wanting to have that, that love that we see on TV. You know, we all kind of want that. Married to a wonderful man, and but love means something really different to me now. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. But I don't know. My husband and I have been together. We were married for 3 months, but we've been together almost 6 years before we got married. And it just wasn't important to me. I was like, I don't need it. I'm happy. We kind of knew that we were going to be together, and that, that was good enough. And then we always kind of kept it. Whereas if either of us changed our mind and wanted to be married, then the other was okay with being married. It was just kind of like, if you ever feel differently, then I'm okay with that. I was really okay either way. And then, one day we're kind of sitting around and we're like, I think I want to get married. You do? Yeah, let's think about that too, and so, we got married. We got married in Miami in a small ceremony with about 40 people, our very, very close friends and family, and it was beautiful and intimate, and it was though one of the best days of my life. We had so much fun. It was a party. It was, it was just all about love and friends and family, and just everyone who meant everything to us was there, and we just all had a great time sort of celebrating,
I also would love to find someone that shares the same interests as I do, that can travel with me and doesn't stop me from wanting to travel whenever I want to travel. And also, I hope that I could be one of those families that can travel together, rather than just me going alone, or just going my kids going alone. And so I'm hoping that I can get like someone with the same interests as I do.
Now I'm in love. We share a lot of time together, and we really have a very nice relationship. It's not really important for me, but if you ask me if I want to get married, yes, I want. I don't know why, because I never dream about that, but now I want.
I never dream about having a big, nice wedding, because that's not the main important thing for the couple. People usually start marriage about maybe early 20. For me, it's a little late to get married, about like a 26, 27. But the important thing about people that married and stay together for our culture, that the children, usually when they married and they have kids right away, and to be patient and thoughtful about children and the family, and you don't want to be the broken family and will be like a bad example for the kid or something like that. But sometimes that maybe the Asian guy, usually maybe when after the wife have a few kids and they're starting to think about another person, but in the past, for especially like among people that maybe they will have 2-3 wives, but 2-3 wives stay together in the same house.
In Copacabana and in our families around here, our parents, my parents especially, they are very sexist. So they don't want us to have many boyfriends, okay? Because it's something bad for the culture, for the family, to have many boyfriends here. Sometimes I think that my father introduced me to my new boyfriend or my new husband in the future, yeah, because it's very jealous.
I haven't told you, but I have been married once before. So marriage for me is a very strong bond. And you make a really big decision before you go into a marriage. I wasn't like a girly girl, so I didn't really imagine my wedding at any point of my life. I didn't plan my wedding or start to shop for a wedding dress before I really decided that I'm going to be married. Mm-hmm. So that wedding was wonderful. I had a pretty dress. It was actually one of my girlfriends. She was married before I was, and we shopped for a wedding dress together. And it would be a waste if the wedding dress was only worn for once. So I wear her wedding dress again, and then I shopped for some other gowns, because in Chinese wedding, you are supposed to change into maximum, I think, 3 or 4 different outfits. So yes, that was that. That was wonderful, but sadly something happened which ended the marriage. But I'm now comfortable with what I have now.
I married in 2007, I think, 2007, yeah. My mother is in Yangon. She don't like this guy, so she don't know. My mother don't know I married and I have one daughter. But I have many problems, so some problem he can fix. So I don't love him. Really, I don't love him. And so I marry him. We lived together just 3 months, and later we walk a different place. He like another girl, very young, more than young, 8 years. Because this girl is very beautiful, very sexy. So yeah, I'm very angry and I break up.
I think that this is love, to share with somebody all your things and your problems, and have a friend, but with more benefits. Marriage, for some persons, is very important because they have a religion, and I have a family that is very Catholic. So for them, it's very important that I get married, I think, very soon. But I want to marry it, but not a married for the people. And I think that now the persons married for all of the people that invited, but not for them. So I don't want a party or a circus. I think that it's not so important that all the person thinks, because when you are in love and you know what you want, you can live with a person without married and be happy and have a family, and it's not wrong.
I had a boyfriend before, but we had already separated because he went away and got married with somebody else. I think he's not the lucky one to get someone like me. Yeah, but at the time, that's okay. He got married with somebody else, and a year ago, he tried to find me and want to get back and to try our relationship. But I don't want it because it is too late. That is not, if you want to go away, just go away. No problem. I will get another one. The wedding for me, I just want a simple one. I don't like party. I just want to see my wedding. It's something very sacred. The dress, I want to make my own dress. Okay, so I don't, because I know my body, so I know the best style for me, for my body. So I want to design it by myself and sew it by myself. Yeah, something simple one, something. The most important things for me, the day after our wedding day.
The fact that no one is right, sure, or knows the truth about love is real. What I find curious is that even though there are so many ways to feel such a big emotion, so many different hearts and minds I feel closer than I could have ever imagined to everything I'm listening to.
Most of the Chinese people nowadays are not religious at all. Not like maybe several hundred years ago or 1,000 years ago, people would believe in Buddha. And also before that, there's Taoism. So, but I've read a lot about different kinds of religions, and I've traveled abroad and studied abroad. So I met religious people. For me, I think I do believe in some kind of superpower out there, the power beyond human being. I am also a very scientific person. For me, the superpower, I don't know what it has done with the whole world, but I believe there's some kind of God. Maybe everybody has their own God in mind, but maybe there is this power that is believed by people everywhere, but they only have different names for it. I am not personally religious because I don't know which God I'm supposed to believe in. I think Buddha, Christianity, and all of other religions at some point have something good to do in the history, but almost all religions have some negative parts. So I don't know, I'm just carrying on with my life with a belief of some kind of super power, I think, yeah.
I believe that there's something, and I think I definitely believe in an afterlife as well, but I'm still trying to find what it really means to me. But growing up and like as I got older, like after high school, I thought, like I desperately wanted to have a belief that something like God, for example, just to keep my mind at ease about death, because I had this huge, the idea of dying freaks me out, and I knew that a lot of religious people, they don't have that fear. And so I thought it was really important, but the more like I learn about different religions and stuff, the more it makes me more comfortable and kind of find myself. So yeah, I think that there's something. I haven't really figured it out yet.
I think that belief is a dude. I feel the energy, absolutely, when with people, with the space, all of this, and I feel this so inside me. My boyfriend is Catholic, but is so relaxed. For me, it's not a problem.
I'm a Muslim, okay, so my religion is Islam. So definitely, as a Muslim, we believe in one God, which is Allah. And yeah, so I like my religion, and I think that probably if I were to choose any other religion, I would definitely choose Islam again.
I do believe in religion. I'm Catholic. I went to a Catholic school. My mum's quite religious. But saying that, I don't go to church. I don't really pray that much. I believe there is God, but I don't so much believe in the establishment anymore, going there and the rules and those kind of things. I think young people are moving away from it a bit. In Australia, we have even like a lot of new age religions that some people, young people, are involved with, but young Catholics tend to move away. Like they go to church when they're young, but more and more we don't stick with it, I think.
I'm Catholic, but since I'm also in the science world, natural world, I strongly believe that you can totally match like the evolution theory and Catholic. Because it's only a different period of time that you have to fix it. So I do believe in God, but I also believe in the evolution and science and everything. It's not like some people say, oh, you're Christian, you're Catholic, you can't believe in Darwin and the evolution things, it's God created everything. Yeah, and the story of evolution is just a part of it. No one told you how Eve looked like. It could be like the first, Homo sapien, or the first monkey that it's on Darwin's theory. Mm-hmm. I do believe in God, but more in my own than be like, hey, let's get together and let's pray. I'm not that kind of be like, hey, sister, let's pray. Like, I'm not that way at all. So I think it's more about an intimate moment with me, like for example, before going to sleep, that I have more than a conversation kind of relationship with God. And Virgin Mary, because I belong to, it's not a religion, but it's inside Catholicism. It's a movement called Schoenstatt, that it's based on Virgin Mary. Well, it's not like based, you believe in God, but it's like everything is through Mary, that it's easier to get to God or to Jesus by his mom, that he's very busy taking care of many things. So it's easier just to go talk to his mom.
That's what he did last time. Oh, the guy dropped the ball.
I'm not religious at all. Not in terms of like institutionalized religion, but I'm very spiritual. I do believe in God. I do believe in, a higher power. I believe in energy in the universe and how all of that, kind of comes together. But in terms of, institutionalized religion, going to a church, every Sunday. And for me, it's always been, just like a sense of hypocrisy, to say that, oh yeah, I go to church every Sunday, and oh yes, I believe in God. For some reason that made other people think better of me, but it never really meant anything. But now that it's personal to me and it's something that I do for me, usually in my house, it means a lot more to me. I would say that I pray. I do pray. I do.
My religion is Roman Catholic. I was baptized a month after I was born. And our family, we go to church. We hear Mass every Sunday or either Saturday for anticipated Mass. So yeah, that's it. We just hear Mass every Sunday and for Christmas and holidays of obligations as well.
I am Catholic, but I also believe in the Mother Earth, Pachamama. We call to this a syncretism, mixture of two different cultures, religions. For example, is the custom in my family, before we get married to somebody, always give an offering to the Mother Earth and I asked to the Huiracocha or to the cat to bless me, to bless to my family, to have in the future a good life. And after that, I will go to the church, because there is a church here in my town, and there will be a mass for the celebration.
I believe in one God that we call Allah. I believe that Allah is the greatest, the Almighty of Allah. Everything can be happen only just because if Allah grant your willingness. Okay, we just can do anything that we can do, but the result is Allah will decide it for us. As long as we can do it as best we could, I believe that everything will be good. If we do something with bad intention, the result will be bad. When we talk to Allah, we can talk 5 times in a day, but if we need more time, we also can do in the time between the morning to the afternoon. We still have longer time to have communication with Allah. Allah will listen everything that you feel.
I am Buddhist, but I think all kind of religion is depend on what people think and believe. Maybe because of my parent is Buddhist, so I am Buddhist. Maybe if I'm born in another country and my parent is Christian, Catholic, Islam, or something like that, I will be like that. But I think all kind of religion have the good thing is to teach people to be a good person. Every day you always have to remind that do a good thing, like plant something. If you plant coconut tree, you'll get the coconut. And if you plant mango tree, you'll get the mango. That means if you do the good thing, you'll get the good thing.
It's funny because my grandmother never went to the church. When she was old, she go to Spain with me 40 days or something. We went to the Semana Santa, and I asked her about that. You never was religious person. Yes, but when you get old, you change your mind. It was funny for me. I never go to the church, and it's not too important for me, but sometimes I like to go to some ceremony or something, but it's not really important. I believe in something supreme, or but not really God or in the Catholicism direction.
I am Buddhism, but I never go to the temple every day or every month. Maybe it's 2-3 times per year. But I think it's many friends, they don't have religion. But they still is a good people. I believe myself.
Sometimes it happens. They told me so many times about how something is supposed to be that it ends up turning unknown, even strange, unusual, distant. It's obvious that the unexplainable, just because of being so, has many explanations. I always thought that I was going to find higher walls when looking to religion, thicker walls, harder walls, and I realized that not blindly defending one only way to understand something gives you many reasons.
No, I love my country, and I never dreamed to be European or American. No.
Actually, I couldn't think of any. I'm very happy to be born in China because, it's like a plant. I'm born where I'm supposed to be growing already. So yeah, I'd love to travel the world, even work abroad. Some countries, like I've lived in Europe briefly, but yes, I like the work, the life there. But compared to China, when I come back, is so much more vivid and so much more dynamic, and different cultures bumping. I like it. I love it.
I always jealous to see the people from other country because they have tall body and I'm so tiny and I'm so short. So just like you are so slim and tall. Not like me, I'm so short. They're like Asian. If I reborn again, I want to choose still Indonesia.
I love Australia. It's a really good country. I don't wish to be born somewhere else. Sometimes I like to get away, but like the grass is always greener on the other side.
No, I will still choose my country and, well, Paraguayans that doesn't even know their country. I want more people to know about my country. And it's a hard work because you have Brazil on one side, Argentina on one side, and it's that you're competing with this huge country that has massive tourism, and that why go to Paraguay? And I have the answer to that. And the answer is that in my country, you find the most welcoming persons in the world, and I think you must be aware of that. Every time you come, it's a good time. Even if you're having lunch, for example, and you're a really poor family and you only have food for you, they'll still say, estás a buen tiempo, that is, you're in a good time. They'll still like share half of their tortilla, they'll give you the soup or whatever they're eating. You will never find a Paraguayan that won't share what they have.
I am Lao and I'm born here. I have seen the whole thing in here and I've been travel a little bit, but I think the country that I love the most and wish that can live here forever, even my children, grandchildren, is my country because of we are kind of small town and still a lot of nice natural things and the life is easy. You don't need money. If you are active and good person, you can do like a farmer, like I do, working on a farm, grow some vegetable. We can catch some fish from the river, and we can grow our own food without needing any money. I think live in another country or big country that the place that you have to work a lot, racing with the time, and you've been fighting for living. Like if you don't have any job, you don't have money, and then you cannot live in that place.
Well, I was born in Malaysia, but I was kind of raised in the UK for a while. So at one point I thought, oh, it would be nice to be born in the United Kingdom, but I don't know. Again, looking at my lifestyle now, I think Malaysia is the best place for me. I think other countries have their own uniqueness, their own benefits, and I'm sure each country would benefit the people of that country. But my lifestyle, again, coming back to me being a Muslim, I think Malaysia is the best for me because I'm free to do what I want and I can go wherever I want without any problems. And I think it would probably be a whole lot different if I were to live elsewhere. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah.
I am very happy to be Bolivian. I love my country. I like a lot. I cannot renounce these things by another place. No, I feel happy in my country. I met a lot of people. I respect their customs, but I think in Europe you have the more open mind, and I like my customs. I think in Europe and in other countries, the life I think is very different.
No, I like Peru. I know that it's noisy, but the people is very nice. So and we have a culture that is very interesting, and we have a lot of places that you must go to and visit because are amazing. I don't know, I would feel strange if I wasn't a Peruvian girl.
I think I am happy I'm born in Thailand. Yeah, because this I don't know. Thailand is a long story. Yeah, and have many place, waterfall, mountain is many beautiful place in Thailand.
Wow. Wow. Would I choose to be born in another country? It's a good question. I don't know. Part of me says, why not? Another part of me says, no, because I think it would be a lot harder. But then again, hard hasn't, I don't know, because what does hard have to do with it really? It's not like I'm ever gonna remember my time being born and living in the United States. But, so yeah, I guess I would say yes. I would say yes because, and I'm assuming that somewhere in the back brain, I'll be one of those crazy people that are like, I was born in, 1476, and they somehow remember that. You always hear those people, and you kind of think that they're crazy, but you never know. I don't know. Anyway, I think that, yeah, why not? Why not?
And which country will be?
I knew you were going to ask that question. And I just don't have an answer for that. I don't know. What other country would I don't know.
I feel bad for having thought many times things like, I have to be thankful for having been born in the country I have. Somehow, I was taking many things for granted, too many, and all of them were incorrect. Who told me that my lifestyle and my way of understanding the world were the best ones? And the most important thing, why?
The relationship between men and women, it's basically quite equal in a sense that
if you do go to school, you have to do the same things. You have to pretty much go through the same education. But there are some differences between boys and girls. Like, for example, I think naturally Asian girls are more shy and reserved, so they're not as active as the boys. But in terms of treatment, everybody is pretty much the same. But there's also a question of religion here. For example, how we treat each other is based on religion. For example, in Islam, we cannot treat the guys the same way we treat the girls. Like, I can't freely touch them, and there's also a limit on how I can be friends with them. For example, if this guy is just a friend, I can't easily let him come into my house when I'm alone. So there's always a matter of taking care of how you treat the opposite sex in Islam. But how we treat each other is always with respect, of course.
I think they're equal. I see that a lot more recently, that women have got the equal rights as men, if not more. It's just a change that I see is happening. So I think women have it really, really good here in comparison to other women around the world. It depends on which part of the country you are, what kind of, let's say, segment of the society, like high class or medium class, and your profession as well. For example, in my profession, that it's conservation, we see not only in Paraguay but around the world, we see more women getting involved in conservation, not also getting involved, being stronger than men. Because I think we are, well, I can make it general, but women are more passionate about the work and they work more for that passion. So you see more women getting involved in conservation. And then, for example, if you go in the countryside, it's more about having kids and having your family and support your husband and stay cooking. And so it depends where you are. And I don't think that's a good way. So in the city, generally, it's much more equal. You get the same opportunities, and also if you are, that's a bad thing, but if you are good looking, more like a model, you get a job easier. So that's really the sad part of new generations. There's a whole division just talking about women, women that are really hard workers and women that are just using their beauty to get good jobs. And that's something that it's really common to find here in the public system, in the government. You'll find one man power have 5 or 10 secretaries, women winning more money than a CEO of any company. It's and most of the people is getting minimum salary that it's, I don't know, $300, $350. It's about minimum salary, and you can't survive with that. And you see families that well, it's not below middle class, it would be considered poor, in poverty. Only the father winning that minimum salary, having 5 kids. How do you support a family on that money? So it depends on the segment you are. You see, in poor families, it's the woman staying in the house with the kids, and usually many kids, because our culture here in Paraguay is having many kids. They didn't have TV in the past, so it's at least having 5. For example, in my case, we are 5 brothers and sisters. So if you have only one child, you are considered strange. I have a colleague that she's a biologist, and she's married for 5 years or something now, and they still don't have a kid. And it's when are you going to get a kid? And we want one, but at some point, why just one? So it's changing, but it's still on a culture that the woman need to be working in the house, having many kids, and then the man is going to provide.
Here in the Philippines, I think it is a little bit more equal than other countries. Like in politics, we've had 2 female presidents already. So I think the opportunities are more or less equal in that field. I think it depends on the field that you are in. If it's a regular field, let's say an office job, I think there's still a bit of priority to the male, but not much. If you're a female and you want to succeed, I think it's still possible. Yeah.
I think we feel like even in a lot of big companies, usually it's the men that are in charge, so not 100%, but it's not so obvious. Like if you see in a social situation, men aren't on top or are in school, like at university. I think more women go to university than even men. But when you see, because women have babies, women have, those things that get in the way of them, like keep climbing the ladder. You can see that men are usually like the boss, but I feel that it will change.
In Bolivia, the situations changed a lot. A long time ago, it was very difficult for the women, for my grandmother to go to school, to learn. But now we have a lot of possibilities, and also we have laws, and we feel safe in our country, the ladies, and we study. Many people study now. Women and men have the same rights, and there are many people that are studying now also, my friends. Everybody goes to the cities. In small towns, we don't have universities, only until the college, schools and college, and then we have to move to the cities to study if we want to go to the university.
Women's situation in the world is something that has always worried me. I believe that in other places this situation was worse than mine, but it doesn't seem like it. I suppose that each country must follow its own path regarding this, if that's what they want. Who said that I'm freer because of wearing a size extra small than a chador? Anyway, if I were born again, I would prefer being a woman. But it's possible that if I were a man, I would prefer to be a man. No choice is better than the other. Simply, there are some conditions that are sometimes very difficult to change.
No, I like to be a woman. Yes, you can be a mother, and you can be pregnant and feel other person inside you, and it's like a miracle. So it's impressive.
No, if I can choose, I want to choose to be a woman because I like. First, I don't know how it's to be man. First, so I like, but I like to be a woman. I like to. I don't know exactly why, but I like to be a woman.
No, I will choose to be a woman. I can do pretty much the same that any man can do. I can do things better than my boyfriend or many of the men I know. So what's the need of being a man? So There are some easy things, like, for example, if you're working in the field, it's easier to go to the bathroom, you're a man. But besides that, I don't know.
Woman. Well, I think we are so strong in some situations, and obviously men too, but I hear so many women that feel so connection with life, and I think this is much for women.
If I could change tomorrow to be a man, I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. I don't know. There's so much that so many things that I love about men, but there's so many things that I just don't. I don't get the way they do things sometimes. To me, they're different. I don't know. They're just different. I don't know. Although I think it would be. I don't know. I think it might be easier to be a man, but I don't know. I'd have to ask a man. I think most men would probably say that they would not want to be a woman.
It's highly probable that with this experiment, without knowing so, I was trying to feel good about myself, trying to reaffirm that my goal, my life, my habits, my beliefs are the correct ones, and now I realize that maybe I was wrong, or at least that I only knew a portion of the truth, my truth.